put the stuff I use mostly up front. I think I got room for one more shelf. And I would like to put that squirrel cage fan in there, I think. It's kind of precariously perched. So I think that might fit in there. I'm going to try that. Had kind of a lazy weekend. Just did a few things. Nothing in the shop. We did go to the local cider fest though. And I picked this up for $20. It's a record 078. Unrestored. Rebate plane. Rabbit plane. Whatever. And it has 2 spots for the blade to go in. So it can be used as a bullnose plane too. And it's got a bit of surface rust, so maybe an upcoming video on bringing that thing back to life to use. Have you ever heard the expression being stacked to the rafters? That's what it means. So we're getting there. Still got to put a door on it and a face frame. But I got that cleaned out, mostly wood up there now, including those long 10-foot pieces of ash and the piece of cherry I got. It's getting there, slowly but surely. So there we go. It's not too bad. Second coat of paint on it. Makes it look better. I've got to move the table back there yet, but it's still wet right now. I just finished putting the second coat on. So yeah, I had that one sheet of OSB left over. I was wondering where I was going to store it. And then I thought, well, that was a good place. I had a little bit of insulation for that wall left over. So I insulated it, a vapor barrier. Yeah, that's the amount of insulation I got left over. Right there. Not too bad. So, the shelf that was over there is now over there, and mostly wood up there. I still gotta clean that out yet, but there's still a bunch of stuff sitting there. But once this table gets put back and stuff starts going back in the wall, I think I've got a heck of a lot more storage than I used to. Alright, slight shift in priorities on the face frame. It's off for a little bit because I've had to get organized. It was driving me nuts. So I've just been proof of concept for a sawtill just bolted to the wall. I've been drilling holes and things and putting pencils and paper handy there. That's part of it. The board is up. I've moved one of the planes over here so I can make room for the old 078 record that I just got. I cut my chisel rack in half and I put part of it up there, my beater chisels and my good ones, squares. My scaffolding, I don't know if that's going to live there. The cabinet with all the tools in, that's what I use the most, right there at the front. The stuff I don't use very much is up there and down at the bottom. The other half of my chisel rack, my winding sticks, stuff for the bench, another pencil, marking knife, the various stuff for laying stuff out. I gotta find a home for marking gauges and my bevel gauge. This window, oh, I put one of these in. So that helps. So I can see. Computer speakers are up there. Clock. The other shelf that was originally where the cabinet is now, I put it over here. Boy, does that make things ever nice. Really nice. Got all my little screws and nails and driver bits, pencils, cleaning brushes and screws and different kinds of screws and bolts. And stuff I use less often in the back there. Hardware stuff and rags and all kinds of stuff. And the drill press has moved over a little bit. This cabinet, it's getting a little bit differently organized and it's a lot emptier. A lot of the stuff went into the big cabinet. So that may go eventually, that cabinet, I'm not sure. The wood rack has mostly wood in it, a few other odds and ends, but mostly wood. I've got my saw vise up there, but I got pieces of pine and, oh, that was ash, that's pine. Dowels, that's what I used on the sawtill. It was an old cut off broom handle. So now I've got this corner to do. The first thing I'm thinking of doing is getting a bag of insulation, bungee corded up to the ceiling, and then I gotta sort out all this sheet goods because I don't know what I have here. I've got so many little bits and pieces of crap. I have no idea what I have and I can't get to it. So that's next. We're gonna sort this corner out, and once that's done, I'll feel like I'm more at home. Well, don't ever make plans or say you're going to do something. Well, I did get that up there, and I did get that cleaned up. But then I went and got a bunch of these things. You see that? Well, it's an air baffle. You split them in half like that, and you staple them up there between the rafters onto the sheathing, and they make sure that the air goes from the vents in the eaves to the vents in the ridge. Can I get you around the light? Up there. That makes the air channel. So I'm about halfway done. You can see they just staple up there quick. It's not insulation, but it's better than what it was, and I'm ready for insulation. So hopefully now the blog and the videos are in sync. Oh, it's just too confusing working in two different times. So yeah, we're gone as far as we're gonna get for a little bit. I haven't built the door for it yet, but I did find a really good place for the insulation and a sheet of, or part sheet of my leftover exterior sheathing. So I think that's going to do that just nicely. So I'm so glad I didn't put the shelves screwed down or anything, because that was a real bear getting into that back corner there. Getting the plastic up and the insulation and putting the drywall up. You can see the little black dots of the drywall screws I used. And that's because I painted it before I put it up there. I figured if it was hard enough getting it up there, it'd be even harder painting it. So here we are. The shop's kind of in sync. I got myself a nice little pile of pallet wood. I took it apart. So we got to run that through the planer and see what we've got there. Maybe that'll become a project of some sort. And all the sheet goods, they're all kind of in order. And I got little cut-offs of sheet goods there. And insulation and Lexan sheet. And a bunch of crap there. And cut-offs of maple and pine, and cut-offs of construction material, and my gluing calls, and I've got cedar shims in there too. I always like to keep cedar shims around. They come in handy for all kinds of things. And blocks of maple that I didn't show you before from the wood pile that was meant to be burnt. So yeah, on to the next thing, I guess. Thanks for dropping by. Like I said, I hope everything's in sync now, because running around in two different times and trying to think about it, it just was bending my mind. Okay, thank you very much.